Alright, we did an A3 run with Ironclad. Guess we'll go with the Silent. Normally I don't really get along with the Silent because I'm kinda loud, but Neo's Fury, Pomander, or Scroll Boxes? I like Scroll Boxes, but I like Pomander a lot on the Silent because you really want to upgrade Neutralize early. Let's take a look at the map. There's an early shop, but I'm not really a fan of early shops regardless of scroll boxes. My heuristic, check the campfires first. Okay, this path. Something else important to note, we're on the underdocks right now. Last run, we got to play in the other area. Let's just say the reason I know the name of the underdocks and not the other area is because I do not like the enemies here. Uh, the elites in particular, there's one that's not too bad, but there's one that if you don't have AoE in your deck and good blocks, it can be run ending. I think there's actually two like that here. I'm not sure if the Wrigglers are on this map or not. Either way, point being, this looks good. We have a question mark. Well, we have a lot of question marks, so hopefully we can get... Actually, scroll boxes seems kinda nice because then we can focus all these question marks instead and hopefully get 3 vaguely synergistic cards in our deck. Also just not a fan of Neo's Fury. I feel like it does not do what you want it to do. Let's see here. What's in the box? Precise Cut, Leading Strike, Dagger Spray. This gives us some AoE in case we run into the unnamed ones, we'll call them. Reflex, Cloak and Dagger, Anticipate. I don't really like Anticipate. Sly is pretty good. But this gives us a lot of offense, and I feel like whenever I'm playing Silent, I always get offered just defensive cards, or like things that don't deal damage, like strikes, which may mean I'm just playing the Silent wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Another big thing different about playing the Silent is you don't get to heal after each combat, so you have to be a bit more choosy with when you take damage. I like Up My Sleeve, it's kinda slow. Backflip's a classic. I mean, you pretty much, it fits into every Silent deck really well. I'm a fan of Up My Sleeve. We do have one Shiv card right now. So, problem is it costs 2 energy first time you play it, and the upgrade does not fix that. I'll take it. I like it. Not gonna play it here because I don't have to take damage on this turn, so I don't want to. And likewise, I don't have to take damage, so I don't want to. Oh, I guess whenever I weaken them, they went down to 8 attack. Wow, we have like actual attacks and stuff in our deck. Piercing Wail is super nice, but Cloak and Dagger is a Shiv engine that doesn't exhaust. And in case you're coming from Slay the Spire 1, in this game, the skill that costs 1 energy and gives you 3 shivs exhausts. And upgrading it does not take that away. Piercing Well is really good. I don't like expertise. Don't like paying energy for card draw on the silent, especially when you have other options. And on a rare too, or uncommon, that's crazy. We have attacks in our deck. We don't have blocks other than our defense, so I'll take the Cloak and Dagger. I mean, taking the gold kinda like refunds us from taking scroll boxes earlier, or scroll boxes earlier. Sword of Stone, in case you're unfamiliar with this relic, you kill 5 elites, and then you permanently have 3 strength. Which, now that I say that out loud, hold up, if we're going for shivs, that's insane, and we're gonna get 2 of these elites early. We just have to live through the first floor, and we've got a good thing going. Inspecting the sword, you sense an incredible dormant power within. Oh, I'm hoping so. So this should hopefully be fairly easy. 11, 17. Not a problem. Let's see. Some gold. Skill potion. I like Pinpoint. I don't think it's really gonna work in this deck. At least right now with what we have. Outbreak. We have literally no poison cards, and expertise, still not really a fan. Most of our cards cost energy. Oh, I mean, we haven't gotten offered any other card draw so far. And in a long fight, Up My Sleeve will be free. Precise Cut. I don't think I want it. I think I want to upgrade. Probably my Dagger Spray. Specifically because I'm very scared of the eels. We may, honestly, we can take that and clip another elite too. The Neutralize upgrade is really nice, but more AoE right now, I think, is more likely to keep us alive. Here's an AoE fight. Spend the first turn buffing. So this guy gives himself more strength per turn, but starts out at lower attack value. This guy gives himself less strength per turn, but starts at a higher attack value. So I'm gonna focus this guy right now. See, he starts off at 1, he starts off at 9, but he's gaining 2 strength a turn, he's gaining 5 strength a turn. Normally I focus this guy first, but we have so much offense in our deck that I think we can actually pull off rushing this guy down. That starts with an Up My Sleeve. This is, I think, the least wasteful amount of damage. And then Neutralize takes him 0 damage. Awesome. 6 damage, okay. Not the best draw there, but we're not taking damage. Not worried about it. Here, just kill him. Calculated Gamble is always good. I really want to take Snakebite at some point, but like I want it to be an option where the other where it's not standing next to Calculated Gamble, put it that way. And like, you see Calculated Gamble, not every time, but Calculated Gamble is just pretty good. It's not really a hot take. Let's go with dagger spray. I have better attacks in my deck. I'd like to draw leading strike and precise cut, so that's fine. Maybe it's way too greedy to hold on to 2 energy and hope for precise cut. I'm gonna take 4 for that. Meouch. Oh, this guy doesn't have artifact, so we can go ahead and weaken him. Taking 6 now. Well, I've got a solution to that. Up my sleeve. Up my sleeve didn't give us the block, but you catch the drift, right? Untouchable. Can't really just like play it with energy, but has Sly, so if we discard it, it'll automatically be played. Right now, the only 2 real synergies we have for that are Survivor and Calculate Gamble. Follow through is nice. It's AoE. It's AoE weak if you can set it up properly. I'm gonna take it. We didn't upgrade the neutralize, and if we run into the eels, we'll be glad we took it. And would you look at that? I'm sorry, the phantasmal gardeners. I'll put respect upon your name. 12, 15 damage. Okay. 15 damage. I think maybe we eat 15 damage. Let's see what's in a skill potion. Add slide to a skill in your hand this turn. Okay. Add 2 shivs to your hand. Or a free up my sleeve. Okay. Maybe I should have thought about that a bit more, but we get to play this for free. A follow through. Now we're only taking 8 damage. Who should we focus down? Probably the one buffing. And I don't think it's as greedy as the last time that I did this, because if we get locked into having to block instead of being able to play attacks, there's actual damage to block. We'll go ahead and pop that. And there we go, we get the up my sleeve. Okay. And we're gonna take the 8 damage, but getting one of them dead on round 1 makes me feel a lot better about how this fight's gonna go. Dagger Stray? Something to say about Dagger Stray. Whenever a card has replay, and you use it against an enemy that gains block after the first time it's hit, it doesn't work, because you're playing 2 separate cards. But in cases like Dagger Stray or Twin Strike, it just goes through. I'm Morgana. Please move. Sorry. So we can't really push much damage out on them. What I can do is weaken and have a leading strike and a cloak and dagger. Go ahead and push. No, I don't want to take damage. I maybe should have pushed more damage out, but I think this was probably the right play. Go ahead and leading strike. Up my sleeve. We can commit 12 to kill him. Cloak and dagger, take no damage, and spread a little damage out on them. Another up my sleeve. Unfortunately, they kind of counter shivs a bit with their ability that lets them sort of burrow. But I think we still have it. So we only took, what, less than 10-15 damage from that, which feels very nice. Those guys terrify me. Tracking. I like leg sweep. I have a love-hate relationship with bouncing flask. Tracking. Does it upgrade to 1? Yeah. I love tracking. We don't really have much weak right now. We have the follow through and the neutralize. And we'll have to upgrade this first because we're never going to play it for 2 energy, but I am satisfied with that. Wait, we're still getting the same net elites from pathing here, but we get a question mark instead of an enemy. I like question marks. Especially, we have a good thing going right now. An event could be another chest for us. Give us a lucky fish. So this is probably going to be, ooh, the terror eel. This guy can be kind of a pain in the butt. He has turns where he deals a lot of damage, so I'm thinking we probably want to save the speed potion. And I'm feeling a calculated gamble, if I'm being honest. This is 1 energy, deal 12, which is nice. This... I think we play up my sleeve to go ahead and scale it, because this fight's going to last a bit longer than I'd like. Go ahead and play that. I don't really want to gamble on drawing into neutralize, and that's pretty much all we could play right now. Not a fan of this, but we can just play 2 defense and a shiv, but he's going to buff himself, so we kind of need to get a move on here. 24 damage. This speed potion would basically be healing us for 5 right now, which isn't particularly exciting, but I think we go defend, follow through, neutralize, strike. Gonna take 11 damage. That does not feel good. So tracking survivor, or sorry, tracking neutralize survivor. Why'd I have, oh, permafrost. The first time you play a power, each combat gains 6 blocks. So I actually did not have to survivor, but there's no other cards I really wanted to play there anyway. I don't think, at least. Maybe I missed a strike. Hopefully it doesn't matter. So whenever we get this guy below 70 HP, he is going to be stunned. And we can do that this turn, so may as well go ahead and get some damage on him. Wow! That was way more damage than I was expecting. We can actually kill him this turn. Beautiful. Distilled Chaos is a beautiful potion. A meal ticket, maybe if we get 3 shops in a row again. Not salty. Anticipate Serpent Form Untouchable. I really like Serpent Form. One of the most insane silent builds I had completely revolved around Serpent Form. But I don't... Well, we are kind of shivvy. I really don't like paying 3 energy for a power. Permafrost makes it perhaps less painful? Our boss is Waterfall Giant. They're really slow. And we'll kind of need Do we need the damage from Serpent Form? We certainly have a lot of cheap stuff we can use to fuel it, and it's not a high priority upgrade. I think we can take it. Generally, the way I evaluate whether or not I want to take cards in this game, we're gonna rest here because we're pretty low HP and I'm liking the run so far. I think it has feet. We just need it to crawl through Act 1, especially since we're kind of elite hunting here. But generally when I'm trying to pick a card or decide whether or not to skip it, most of what I'm evaluating is, does this make the deck better? And if it does, by how much? So I think Serpent Form in a lot of fights is going to be basically a curse, but in the fights that we need it, it's going to be huge. This guy can be kind of annoying. Like right now, Serpent Form is a curse. We could play it against this guy, but it's such a waste of a turn that in fact, Survivor, just get this garbage out of my face, thank you. Hit him with the follow through. I really wish we had, oh, we have the Gorget, but so this guy, whenever he deals unblocked attack damage, he's going to gain 3 strength, which can kind of get out of hand rather quickly, but with the Gorget, we're going to get 4 armor at the end of the turn because we have plating. And plating, if you're watching from Slay the Spire 1, plating now reduces by 1 regardless of any other conditions at the start of your turn, but you don't lose 1 per time you take unblocked attack damage. Anyway, you have enough yapping. Take 12 damage, please. I mean, sometimes you get a really easy turn where it doesn't particularly matter what order you play cards, and you have perfect energy to play those cards. I think I'm going to actually, I'm going to hold on to the speed potion unless I really need it on this elite, and I'll tell you why. Waterfall Giant is going to charge up a big attack that he unleashes at the end of the combat. Okay, this time I know I fed her before starting recording. So she's doing it for the love of the game this time. Card choice. Ricochet is neat, but as we saw with the last Sly card choice, we don't really have enough discard to feel good about taking it. And it's not like Flick Flack where you can just play it for 1 energy, worst case scenario. You never want to pay 2 energy for that. Snakebite, I would love to take Snakebite someday, but sitting next to Dagger Throw is not that day. I love Dagger Throw. Since we're doing really well at playing almost all of our cards per turn, well, okay, we might want to hold on to Stable Serum in case we draw Serpent Form on a turn that we cannot play it. Distilled Chaos could also play Serpent Form for free. So the question is, does the Dex Potion save you more health than a Speed Potion? And I honestly think the answer is yes, the more I think about it. Okay. Serpent Form might be helpful on this fight, but here's the gimmick. You can only deal 20 damage to him per turn. So Serpent Form allows us to set up like a big 1-turn kill the enemy very quickly combo, but yeah, I'm more concerned with doing 20 damage to him per turn, and I don't really want to take 9 damage. because ideally I would like to, hopefully we can take 0 damage and upgrade our, what's it called? Tracking. Enough yap. Go ahead and start with, let's start with 9 damage. Okay, that's huge. We get the neutralize, and now we only need to block for 6. Cloak and dagger, very conveniently blocks for 6. And he's only gonna take 4 damage from that, but could be worse. We got our 20 damage in. We don't have a skill to proc follow through. And he's dealing 16 damage. This is not good. I'm going to play... Gulp? Okay. I'm going to have to use the Distilled Chaos Potion. Okay. We at least get the weak from it. Now we're only taking 4 damage. He can only take 5 more damage this turn. I'd really like to play tracking, but having him at 39 HP instead of 44 HP means we can end the combat in 2 turns. Although our next turn, we're drawing 5 cards, and it looks like pretty much no matter what, we're not really going to be able to do 20 damage to him anyway, so let's go ahead and play the tracking. Oh, and we have the permafrost, so it's blocked too. One day I won't forget about permafrost. Yeesh. 18 damage. So, I think we're gonna... There's no way we can kill him this turn. It's literally impossible. We can only set him to 6 HP. So I unfortunately need to Survivor. And then this is a big gamble. Weakens at least pretty nice. We're still gonna take 3 damage and we've wasted 2 energy, but it could have been worse. So, start with my card draw. A block is what I wanted to see there. I can also play a skill, and then play this to weaken. Now we're only taking 3 damage. Alright, we got out of here with only taking like 6 damage. We killed 3 elites on this floor, which feels huge. The faster we get the Sword of Stone online, our deck really, like, we can play Precise Cut with a completely full hand, almost, and it'll still do something. 3 strength, it's not big in every deck, but in this deck, I feel it, Leading Strike and Backflip are both really good with what we have going on, but we already have a Leading Strike and we don't have a Backflip. We're also super attack heavy, and we're having a lot of turns where we're not drawing any blocks, so I'll add a Backflip. And some may say our deck is getting big at 23 cards, especially for Act 1. I say naysayer. Look at these cards. Calculated Gamble, Exhaust. Draw, 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 draw. Power, power. And then this is gonna go to free. This is already free. This is free. As long as you can draw through your cards consistently, for some decks, 23 cards would be a big deck, but I feel like we're doing fine right now. And 41 HP, we have the Dex Potion. As long as I use the Stable Serum to hold on to some defense, Upgrading tracking. Upgrading cloak and dagger won't help our defense. Upgrading backflip. It doesn't draw you more cards, but it gives you 3 more block. And we're going to want to be playing it a lot. Alternatively, I could rest. I do feel threatened by Waterfall Giant. And 21 HP makes me feel a lot less threatened. Bitch boy mode. Okay, this is perfect. We get the serpent form out immediately. It's gonna burn our permafrost, but that's fine. And then we play that precise strike. It doesn't really do much damage, but we get the 4 damage from serpent form. That's going to add up over time. Let's see here, 15 damage. And this buff, he's going to keep buffing this effect, Steam Eruption. When killed, deals 15 damage at the end of your next turn. That basically means we'll have 1 turn at the end of killing this guy to be able to survive whatever he gets this counter up to. I don't remember what debuff he's about to put on us, but they all suck. So, not much point in worrying about it. Since we took the rest, I'm going to be a bit more aggressive. We'll go ahead and hold the calculated gamble for now. Oh, we also have a Centennial puzzle. First time we lose HP each combat, we get to draw 3 cards. I guess that's part of the perks of elite hunting. You get more relics. Although you gotta be able to survive the elites, which is sometimes the hardest part. Since we'll get tracking soon in our next draw, I do kind of want to stack up weaken, although it's not going to do much for us now. And we have 2 plating, so we're not going to take any damage. May as well get some damage out there. Move this kitty. Perfect. So he's healing himself, buffing up his Steam Eruption. So we can go ahead and play our tracking. Stack up another stack of weak. And it doesn't really matter what we discard, but we're in a place to do some good damage right now. We have the precise cut. Well, so here's the dilemma. We can backflip first, and we're going to draw cards, and precise cut's going to be worse. And we definitely want to play precise cut at some point. Or we could spend 2 energy playing bad cards to make precise cut better by 4 damage. Nah. Okay. And so that was the gamble. Now we have worse cards in our hand. Although maybe blocking. Maybe use this dexterity potion that I specifically held on to. I probably should have used the retain potion, because retaining a calculated gamble could be really useful, but this guy isn't doing nearly as much damage as I thought he did. Like 9 damage? He's got his Steam Eruption up to 30, but it's not really making me feel the burn right now. Probably because he's a waterfall. $10 damage. Go ahead and use this. Up my sleeve. And so even though we have weaken, the serpent form isn't affected, which kind of makes you a bit resistant to some of the debuffs. I mean, in particular, weaken. But also, I think it goes through effects that make the enemy not take damage. Okay, so we've got him downed. I mean, really we could just pass, but we're on Ascension 3. And Ascension 2 makes it so you only heal 80% instead of to full. So we want to play as much block as possible. And as far as I'm aware, weakening him does not reduce this, but with the cards we have in hand, we may as well test it. Oh my god, it does! Okay, good to know. This used to be called Ritual Potion. Ritual is that thing we saw in the cultists, the bird people earlier. Abrasive. I've never taken this before. On the other hand, Fan of Knives is really good and has one of my favorite animations in the game. And Nightmare is usable, but your deck it's usable. I had like on a 0 cost card that draws and gives you something. This card is pretty good, but you have to invest a lot of energy into playing it. But Fan of Knives is what we're taking here. Absolutely. And we might want something that, like a relic that synergizes with powers. Like a mummified hand, which makes it so that when you play a power, another card in your hand is free that turn. That would be absolutely beautiful. Pale's Eye, I love Pale's Eye, and if I click on this, you are going to see me forget that I have it for the rest of the game. It's unfortunate. Pale's Horn, I don't like Relax. 3 energy, 15 block, draw 2 cards, gain 2 energy next turn. 3 energy is almost always going to be all of your energy, especially with what we have right now. So it just doesn't feel good because 15 block is very often not going to block the entire enemy's attack, and the effect just doesn't feel strong enough for what you're paying. Pale's Wing, okay, since we have a deck full of good cards that we want to upgrade, Pale's Wing, if we're going to take a route with a lot of hallway fights, this card will get us a lot of relics. On the other hand, we may not need them because we already have Sword of Stone and we're elite hunting. And Pale's Eye can really help alleviate some bad draws. So first, let's find the elites. This immediately gets us our Sword of Stone, but then we're forced to fight a 3rd elite. We could go for this. Wait, am I crazy? Why are there... Early shop? Okay. So this path has caught my eye. We're getting 2 campfires, pretty much back to back. Oh, now that I look at it, I don't really want to fight 2 elites without a campfire in the middle. Okay, this may have been bait. The best part about this is the early shop right there, but we have an early shop right here. I think I like this path, because this gives us 3 campfire totals. 3 campfires in total, which is the most we can get of any route. And it gives us our 2 elites that we need to fight. I like it. Oh. The whole point of that was finding out whether or not we want to take Pale's Wing? Yeah, Pale's Wing. So it's 1, 2... Well, I want to assume that we're not going to sacrifice the elite card, and hopefully it gives us like a good card that we want. So 1, 2, 3. could also go here for 4-5, but I like Pale's Eye, especially with Ring of the Snake. Sometimes you can get a little something going. If you draw like all trash on your first turn, which shouldn't really be a problem for us. We have a lot of good cards, but it also allows us to burn some of these powers that we may not want to play, especially because we haven't gotten to upgrade tracking yet. So our goal should probably be to take as little damage as possible. That starts with applying some weak. These guys' gimmick, only taking 9 damage per instance, isn't as big of a deal for us because we have several instances of small damage. We're not taking damage right now, so let's focus on this guy planning on buffing himself. Delicious. I don't really want to play Serpent Form. But I don't want to use the Pale's Eye because I like Dagger Spray. Dagger Spray here works really well. Means we probably just Survivor, Strike. At some point we gotta use the attack potion, but there's not really much point in doing it right now. Okay, Fish oil! Honestly, we haven't really been using the stable serum, or really been in a position where we needed to use it. I think fish oil, whenever we get to a difficult fight like this elite, we might be blessed. Not a big fan of Predator. In general, I don't like cards that give you benefit next turn and are expensive, unless the benefit is insane. Prepared is, in general, really good, but part of why it's really good is it's an enabler for Sly, and we don't have any Sly going on right now. And Backflip is just good. We didn't take Pale's Wing, so I don't feel bad about adding cards to my deck. Welcome to Wongos. Welcome to Wongos. We have what you want at Wongtastic prices, says the least enthusiastic cleric you have ever met. Peruse our wares and enjoy your time at Wongos. They continue without even looking up. I don't know why I made him British, but I don't know, maybe he's Jimmy Brown in a world where Jimmy Brown, instead of getting to live his dream, had to work at a gas station. May or may not have been there. Wongo's Mystery Box. Get 3 random relics after 5 combats. Rainbow Ring. First time you play an attack, skill, and power. A Shiv counts as an attack. So that could be as simple as like a Cloak and Dagger tracking, or a Cloak and Dagger Fan of Knives. Well, Fan of Knives will always fulfill the condition of power and attack. I like Rainbow Ring, to be honest. We do have the shop coming up. I definitely don't want to downgrade a random card. It's guaranteed to hit Dagger Spray. I don't really want a common relic. 1, 2, 3. I think one good relic for 200 is probably worth more. We are Wongo wowed by your generosity, wonderful patron. You now have 24 Wongo points. With just 1976 more points, you can receive our exclusive Wongo Customer Appreciation Badge. Have a wong-tastic day. You have no clue what they are talking about and vowed to never return to Wongos. I'm sure we'll be back. We're going to go into the shop kinda poor, which kinda sucks, but we got the rainbow ring. If we had a power in our hand right now, we could even play it, or use it. For now, I think I want a cloak and dagger, a survivor. I guess we could have played the up my sleeve instead. I forgot about the plating. Go ahead and get some damage. This guy is a pain in the digger. He's going to burrow and put up a big shield that we're going to have to get past. And if we can't get past in time, he is going to just keep wailing on us. On the other hand, he's giving us a free turn to play Serpent Form. We can play Serpent Form without taking damage. It may have been a horrible play, and we're gonna find out now. Okay. I wanted to just, I saw I had the correct amount of energy, play my cards, and there wasn't any other order to play them in, so just throw them out there sometimes. I want to play the tracking. I also want to save my potions. Let's go ahead and backflip. I don't know if we need to play the tracking. We already played the Serpent Form. How about another backflip? That's unfortunate. I would have preferred to play that. Put a weaken on him, then we won't be taking any damage. So he's gonna buff himself again. I'd strongly prefer we be able to kill him. Fair enough. It's probably also going to give us a potion and punish us for not using our potions. But we still didn't take any damage, it's fine. Could take another calculated gamble. Still don't really think Predator or Ricochet is doing much for us. Calculate gamble gives you basically -1 card advantage, which is the concept of like, so something like Dagger Throw. We played Dagger Throw. It draws us 1 card, but we discard 1 card, and then we lose the Dagger Throw from our hand. So we went net -1 card advantage. Even though it's drawing and discarding and doing things, we're still losing a card from our hand by playing it. Which isn't bad, it's a good card. But Calculate Gamble, the reason I bring that up, is because it's -1 card advantage, and you don't always want to play it. If it was upgraded, it'd have Retain, which basically means I only have to draw it once, and then I can play it whenever I feel like. I mean, aside from discarding it with a different Calculate Gamble. I like having 1 in the deck, I just don't know if I want a second one. Especially with how our deck is already kind of big. On the other hand, we have the Lucky Fish. Whenever we add a card to our deck, it gives us 15 gold. And that 15 gold could matter since a shop is literally the next node. And that's genuinely going to be the deciding factor, I think. Oh, we also have Meal Ticket. So we go ahead and heal to full. Speedster is really good in a lot of silent decks. We have a decent amount of card draw, and it works with Calculated Gamble, which we just had to take 2 copies of. We're a bit heavy on powers. which is generally a bad thing, but we have the rainbow ring right now. So if we get through all of our powers without being able to use our rainbow ring, it's going to be a dead relic for us. But Speedster, it's always going to cost 2, and I don't know. There's also Happy Flower. If we buy Happy Flower, we can't buy anything else. I am a certified Happy Flower enjoyer, but I think it's more important that we're probably going to want to go Finesse and card removal. Finesse, on the topic of card advantage, this is net neutral card advantage. It's one card, you play it, discard it. Well, whenever you play a card, you discard a card, but you play it and you draw a card and you also get a benefit from it. This is also going to proc our Serpent form. So that's a really nice addition to the deck. Let's go card removal. Our strikes really, like, a defend is do 4 damage with Serpent form. Our strikes, this isn't Ironclad, put it like that. Finesse, and we can afford one more card. You may also notice for buying cards, we're basically getting a 15 gold discount with the Lucky Fish. Dodge and Roll is on sale, but I don't like Dodge and Roll for the reason I mentioned earlier. I don't like cards that give you a benefit next turn. I specifically mentioned expensive cards, but even the upgrade, it doesn't feel like it's doing much. We already have 2 backflips. Not really feeling the need to add another backflip. Finisher would be really nice in a Shiv build. We can't afford it, and well, it wasn't a high priority, but I also didn't even notice it was there until just now. Another leading strike. The problem we're going to run into as a Shiv deck is in longer fights, you can sometimes burn out of Shivs. We currently don't have that problem because we have 1 leading strike, 1 up my sleeve, and a lot of sources of Shivs. We also have the 1 cloak and dagger exhaust, like what's it called? Blade Dance. It gives you 3 Shivs, 1 energy, and exhaust. We currently don't really have that problem, but leading strike is also just a nice card. On the other hand, if we're going for these question marks, there might be a shop there. If we're going this path, we're definitely going to hit another shop. So there's some merit to saving money. We're also fighting Kaiser Crab. And here's why I don't like having 2 calculated gambles. Drew both of them. This guy is a nightmare for a Shiv deck. So I'm legitimately just going to pop both of these because we need our attacks when we do them to do a lot of damage. Otherwise our entire deck will just be dazes. I think, okay, play 2 blocks, because he's doing 21 damage right now, which I really don't want to take. And then I don't really want to play Shiv right now. I'd rather Ritual have time to build up. And a backflip might draw into one of the powers I want to play. I really want to play Serpent Form this combat because the 4 damage from Serpent Form isn't going to add a daze to my deck, which is going to be really nice. So I don't want to draw cards. I don't want to add a Shiv to my deck. We take 0 damage and get a turn to build up our strength. Tracking. We haven't added as much weak into the deck as I'd like, but tracking is good. We don't have any block. We could possibly draw into finesse or neutralize, which would neutralize would let us apply weak, which should help. Dagger throw is our highest instance of damage, but again, I don't want to draw into serpent form right now. Leading strike deals 9 damage, follow through deals 8, but I don't want to add a shiv and then have to play it. I want to draw these cards. I need to get my powers out there. Fan of Knives, not as important, but Serpent Form, very important. So I'm going to play follow through. Add 1 daze, deal 8 damage, but I don't create trash. The attack potion, a card in particular I'm thinking of or wanting from it, is Dash, which is 2 energy, 10 block, 10 damage. Speaking of, there's the Serpent Form, and we can go ahead and start stacking damage on him. Go ahead and neutralize. Okay. So he's dealing 28 damage. Disgusting. Dagger Spray will add 4 dazes to our deck now. Also disgusting. Let's draw first. Calculated gamble on this fight is also kinda sucks because you need the daze to be in your hand at the end of your turn for it to get exhausted. So here's what we're gonna do. Defend, defend, calculate gamble. Okay, so if we play Fan of Knives in 1 attack, we can get our Rainbow Ring off. Sorry, Fan of Knives in 1 skill. I think we've had a lot of strength build up now. We can go ahead and pop this Rainbow Ring, I think. Another huge benefit of Rainbow Ring, or sorry, of Fan of Knives, is instead of having to drag each shiv onto the enemy, you can just go ahead and doop 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 doop. Oh, he died. I guess I had tracking up. Lizard Tail's nice, it lets us play a lot more aggressively. We still need to kill 1 more elite, get our Sword of Stone. Speedster, Deadly Poison, Acrobatics. Acrobatics is really good, but it's a lot better if you have Sly to enable it to do things. So I don't think I want it. It's far too late to try and pivot towards Deadly Poison, in my opinion. I mean, we're only on floor 23, but we have 26 cards in our deck, and they're all synergizing together pretty well. I feel like trying to add poison on top of that is just going to make things not work as well. Speedster, we have 2 copies of Calculated Gamble now. The Rainbow Ring, we have the Lizard Tail in case we die from being too slow. I think there's a much stronger case to adding it now. It's also AoE. We kinda have AoE covered. I'm trying to think of any 3rd act boss that we would want Speedster for. And can't really think of one. I'm going to skip it again, unfortunately. Tracking upgrade is long overdue, but we also need better ways of applying weak, because we don't always have weak on enemies as we'd like. Okay, we have a power, so we can play a power, a skill, and an attack, which we're guaranteed to play precise cut, so now let's actually look at our cards and see what we have. 11 damage, 14 damage coming in. We already have enough block. I think we can go for a dagger throw. Doesn't really matter what we discard. Get the rainbow ring. Let's go ahead and focus down this one that's buffing. Okay. So greedy to play Serpent Form right here. We're taking 24 damage. We currently have 8 block. I don't think we can play it. We're unlikely to draw into great defense, but we could draw follow through. So I want to calculate gamble. Unfortunate. Right now I'd be taking 4 damage. I think I want to hold on to my potions. It's very unfortunate to draw Fan of Knives here. That's a card that would have been very nice to have on this fight. Oh, it took 6 damage. I can't do math. But we got the follow through. And dagger spray. Okay. We might actually be able to kill them this turn. In fact, I don't think we need the weak at all. I mean, exhausted out of my deck, I guess. And draw Serpent Form, that's nice. Basically a dead card for what we need to do, which is 7 damage. Upgraded Infinite Blades. So it has innate, which makes it very, and it's 1 cost, so it's very likely to help us pop this Rainbow Ring right at the get-go. If we could get like a backstab too, that'd be great. I mean, it's also just a good card for what we're doing right now. We don't have like an accuracy or anything, which would make our shivs do more damage. Do I want to rest at 40 HP? I think the answer is no. I do think... What needs upgraded? Probably either neutralize or follow through. Actually, follow through is probably the better upgrade right now, because I don't know if this is an AoE elite, it could be, but Kaiser Crab is an AoE boss. We're going to have to fight both of his claws at the same time, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade follow through. I love fighting this guy. He doesn't, well, I don't want to disrespect him. He's an elite, but not all. Some elites are more equal than others. Infinite Blades, Finesse. Drawing 2 calculated gambles again. This is why I do not like having 2 of them in my deck. Unless they're like upgraded, in which case it's not as bad, but I'm not a fan. But here we'll go ahead and play the precise cut. Every time we deal unblocked attack damage to him, or the first time we do it each turn, he's gonna give us an energy back. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with that before we calculate gamble. For as much I was talking bad on him, I think I do still want to go ahead and put some weak on him. It's free anyway, so now we're only taking 2 damage. Fan of Knives isn't really doing much for us. Did we pop the rainbow ring already? Yes, absolutely. So it's gonna be 20 damage for 2. It also, there's an argument to be made, it gets it out of my deck. I think I don't want to accidentally draw into serpent form. Probably won't play it this combat. Especially since hopefully it lines up with a turn where he's not doing anything. On the other hand, taking 2 damage unnecessarily just to be greedy with my card draw, not a good look. So we can apply 2 weak to him. Let's draw some more cards. Serpent form, such as life. I was kind of hoping to see like tracking. Right now we're taking 3. This would do 13 damage. Do I want to do 13 damage or take 3 less? I can't remember if this guy strengthens himself and scales over time. I think 3... No, we gotta... He's an elite, surely he scales himself. Plus we got our Centennial puzzle. Intentional. Go ahead and get our tracking out there, he's still weakened. Dagger throw will get us our energy refund. I do want to get some blocks up. What cards do we have in our draw pile? Not much I want to see, at least right now on this turn. On the other hand, it's a good block. Wait. Each turn? I thought this was each combat. Oh my god. We're a rainbow ring build. This is insane. We've accidentally built a really good rainbow ring deck without understanding or reading how the relic worked, I guess. Okay, that's really nice to know. Never disrespect rainbow ring again, although it's got some conditions to it, put it like that. Not stun locked by the rainbow ring. I'm gonna take, what, 3 damage? Oops. Probably need to rest, unfortunately. Play our weak first, we still got our tracking. About... I want to play skill so I can get more weak stacked up, but I don't need block. Okay, that's nice. Wow. Can we do 21 damage? Yes. And we get our Sword of Jade. Beautiful. And upgraded hidden daggers. I mean, we're consistently finding ourselves with a lot of cards in our hand, so may as well. Okay. This event, I do not recommend, if you have the HP to tolerate it, taking a random doll, because I'm gonna go ahead and choose one of 3, just make sure I get the one I want. But Bing Bong, if you get one at random, Bing Bong can brick your run. Whenever you add a card to your deck, add one additional copy. So you really don't want to get stuck with Bing Bong. There's probably some decks out there that want Bing Bong. I've never wanted Bing Bong. I don't like Bing Bong. Don't ask me how I know that it brick your run. Daughter of the Wind works pretty well with what we've got going on, and we do find ourselves struggling to apply block consistently each turn. It's really good with shivs. Mr. Struggles, it's good for like a slow build, but we're not trying to play slow. Daughter of the Wind just has like good synergies for us. And we are happy she chose us. She proclaimed that triumphantly. Except I didn't read what she said verbatim. Oh wait, this guy, I have 19 HP. I do not want to have the run ended to this guy. We could, I mean, not to be like squaring up like I could take him, but we could probably take him. Does that mean we should try at the risk of bricking our run? I think the answer is no. What we can do is... remember when I said I was going to forget I had Pale's Eye all game? I'd like to play Fan of Knives. Tracking is a dead card because I don't want to try and chip through 2 artifact on 2 different enemies. Up my sleeve, I'm hoping we can end this combat fast enough. But ending this combat fast enough probably requires us to play Fan of Knives. If we play Fan of Knives and 1 skill, we'll get 1 dex. We're just taking so much damage right now. Before plating, so we're taking 12 damage. We don't have like an ornamental fan or anything. We're gonna be resting anyway. Oh, we have Daughter of the Wind! That ended up being the correct play, I think. Because now, right now, we're only taking 2 damage. I can calculate Gamble into maybe Dagger Spray, Finesse, calculate Gamble, Precise. There's things that I would like to draw, like a follow through. Take 1 damage, which totally meant to do, pop our Centennial Puzzle. I think Serpent Form's probably a bit too slow, although on the other hand we have Hidden Daggers and Precise Cut. I'm not going to do the math, but I'm pretty sure we'd have lethal anyway. But, yeah. It's always best to just end the combat if you can. There's very little reason not to. In this deck, there's literally no reason not to. Backflip, Pinpoint, or Speedster. We're kind of to a point where Pinpoint might work. We have a lot more skills than last time we saw it, but it's not really what we're looking for. Speedster, I think this is the 3rd or 4th time I've been offered it. Now that I know how Rainbow Ring works, it's a bit more tempting, but still costs 2 energy. And a backflip plus is a backflip plus. I have 2 backflips, but we have 0 backflip plus. We're going to be getting decks. I think it's fine. 29 card deck, who cares? We have the Lizard's Tail. I kind of want to hold the Lizard's Tail for a time that I'll probably need it. Is there any big upgrade I want? Like, I obviously want to upgrade my Calculate Gambles, give them Retain, I want to upgrade my Neutralize, but I also don't want to die. put it like that. Alright, Kaiser Crab. This guy... I don't know, this fight... We might die on it, because he's gonna do some insane attacks, and if we can't get weak on him for those attacks, we're gonna be in a rough spot. But with our infinite blades, we're always going to have a shiv each turn. The gimmick here is if you have your back turned on one of the claws, it'll do 50% more damage, like you're vulnerable. The other hand of that is that generally one of the claws is going to do a big damage attack and the other one is going to do a small attack or a buff or whatever. So we need to play an attack to turn and face this guy. We have Precise Cut for free. I'd also like to put up some block. Once we turn and face this guy, we're going to be taking 12, and I think this will be 4. Either 4 or 5. So we'll be taking, what, like 16, 17 damage? We have 10 block with our blading right now. I think we'll go ahead and backflip. Probably should have played Precise Cut first. Calculate Gamble. We're already not taking damage now. So I don't think we need to play the backflip plus. Fan of Knives, I almost don't want to play this combat despite it being obviously great for the AoE. Having the guaranteed shiv to be able to turn our back each turn is a really nice advantage. I guess we should also pop the dex pot. Let's stagger through. Okay, tracking is really nice. It's 1 energy power, so we should be able to for sure get a proc of Rainbow Ring, which is a power, an attack. We need to turn face this way, and we need 24 block. Well, we gotta play skill. I'm not too concerned about Serpent Form for this combat. If we get a nice turn to play it, we do, but it doesn't do damage to all enemies. Like Speedster, now that I think about it, card I was offered 3 times, but eh. And with the Dagger Spray and Neutralize. Gonna take a little bit of damage. I don't know why we're drawing so many cards, if I'm being honest. I guess we probably just popped the Centennial puzzle. Other than that, I don't know. I guess we also got, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add a shiv to our hand. 1, 2, 3 from Centennial puzzle. Just looks like so many cards, man. Again, we have a power. It's gonna add 4 shivs into our hand, so we need to make some room. And we also need to turn and face this guy. So, hit him with a finesse. Follow through. We'll use this shiv first, before Fan of Knives, because we can turn around. Then, this will take us down to 6 cards in hand, add 4 shivs. And now, that happens. Play the hidden daggers. Doesn't really matter what we discard. Oh my god. I honestly wasn't paying attention to their health bars. Okay. Okay, tracking is insane. I mean, like, obviously doing double damage with your attacks is good. But, like, that's pretty good. Grand finale, maybe one day, but in all of my time in Slay the Spire 1, and so far in Slay the Spire 2, I have never gotten to play this card. Now, part of that is because I've probably only taken it, like, 3 times, maybe? Thinking, wow, I have the perfect setup to be able to play Grand Finale. Never played it. It's also, like, if it said in the combat, kill all enemies, it'd still be a card that I'd probably never take. I don't know how you can ever get to a point where you can consistently play this card. On the other hand, Envenom is nice. It's also another power for our Rainbow Ring build, but Knife Trap is kind of insane with what we've got going on. It's a big finisher. All it would take is a week and a Knife Trap. That'd probably one-shot like a final boss, or an Act 3 boss. Final boss isn't in the game yet. Been here 143 times? I don't think so. I think I've probably been here like 40 times. Whispering Earring is really funny. There are some decks where you have a bunch of innate cards. Basically, he's going to play your cards from left to right. So anything that's innate is already going to be on the left side of our hand. So if we had like 3 good innate cards that we always want to play, it wouldn't be that bad. But imagine we have Infinite Blades on the left, Calculated Gamble into an... Actually, I don't know what he does if he calculated gambles. Point being, it's a lot of variance. Choices Paradox, I don't think I've ever taken this, but apparently people online are saying it's pretty good. At the start of each combat, add 1 of 5 random cards into your hand, add Retain to the chosen card. It's not that I'm not a believer, it's just, are random cards, are they specifically silent cards? Can they be colorless cards? Because the color here makes me think they're going to be colorless cards, but who knows. I'd like an extra energy, but my favorite of these options is probably the Seer Talon. It's 2 random curses, which can range from mildly inconvenient to very bad, but 3 wishes. It depends on if there are cards that we would really like to be able to tutor, and it's also a skill. So we'll take it. We get Shame and Regret. Shame isn't going to affect Daughter of the Wind. Still would rather not have it in my deck. Regret is going to be very bad with how many cards we usually... In fact, this is one of the ones I was talking about where it can be very bad instead of mildly inconvenient, put it that way. We're going to consistently have a lot of cards in our hand when we end our turn. That's going to be a problem. We don't really have to elite hunt now, so let's check just for rest sites. I see 3 right here. There's 2 right here, 2 right here. So I already don't want to go this way. I want to somehow get in this lane, which this is pretty much a straight path. It doesn't give us a shop, which sucks. I have 505 gold and really want to get Regret out of my deck. Which means this early shop is incredibly appealing. If I go that early shop, I have to fight one elite, no rest site, hallway combats, which in Act 3 are kind of a pain. On the other hand, it may not be a huge priority, because we have ways of discarding, like Dagger Throw, Calculated Gamble, Survivor, and we have the Wishes, so we could try and tutor a way to discard Regret. One of the worst parts about Regret is that this lose 1 HP for each card in your hand, that goes through your block. You can't block this. And taking it into the final boss might be run ending. This is 3 rest sites this way, with a guaranteed shop. So I know I said I don't like this path, but it at least guarantees us a way to remove the curse if we don't get like a random event that lets us do it here. And we only have to fight 4 fights, barring question marks, before getting to remove it. I think that's probably where we're gonna go. This guy with our deck is probably going to be a bit of a pushover. He is someone who's going to scale really fast. I think he gives himself Ritual 9, but he's not doing anything turn 1, and little does he know, I drew Serpent Form turn 1. Let's see, Finesse could wish into like Precise Strike. Wishes, if you don't play them, are basically curses. If you think about it in a real nihilistic way, I guess. But we can also tutor Hidden Daggers, which is pretty nice right now. This is where I'd like to have some weak or card draw. Got any of that in the deck? On the other hand, we can pop our Rainbow Ring. Definitely should have played Precise Cut last. But we didn't take damage. So if we don't take damage this combat, we weren't punished. Dagger Throw. This isn't looking good, if I'm being honest. I don't really want to like calculate a gamble into Regret Shame. So I'm unfortunately just going to play 2 defends. We're going to take 4 damage. So that's Regret, so let's try and... yeah. Another Infinite Blades. I think we have a lot of cards right now. Sucker Punch gives us a way of consistently applying weak, which with tracking, we're kind of lacking ways of applying weak. It's also upgraded. One of the main problems of Sucker Punch is that you have to upgrade it. It's one of those cards you need to upgrade if you're going to have it in your deck to apply 2 weak. It's already upgraded. I think with curses that we're kind of going to be stuck with for a while, having our deck a little padded out isn't the worst thing. Okay, Regret, and we didn't draw. Remember when I said I was going to forget about Pale's Eye all game? Well, I just remembered it. On the other hand, wish into calculate gamble, and then draw fan of knives, hidden daggers. That would be a sweet turn. Only one way to make it happen. Another calculated gamble. Man. So I could play tracking, precise cut, probably on you, you're doing the most damage. Calculate gamble. Nice thing about cards like this, it says discard 2 cards, add 2 Shiv plus to your hand. You don't actually have to discard cards. If you don't have any cards in hand, or you just have 1 card in hand, it still plays. Okay, that turn went really well. Now we can just fan of knives and do one of those. Hello, snake fight. I wish. If the calculated gamble was upgraded, I might actually consider it. Skewer, we don't really have any like energy generation, and we already have pretty good attacks, so it's not like we need to constantly be drawing into 10 damage per energy. The oldest person you have ever seen. How do you know? You do not know this man. Could give up my meal ticket for 2 random relics. Could give 100 gold for a random relic, or an attack potion for a random relic. I mean, in terms of like real gold value, they're all efficient choices. But the attack potion is something we've just been holding on to for a while, and we have good attacks. And a bag of marbles! Bag of marbles, one of my favorite relics in the game. This guy is neat, so we're gonna make a custom card. We can either make an attack or skill. We're gonna make a skill because I want more blocks. And we have a lot of attacks. Now, we can either get guaranteed 2 energy, or a random card in your hand costs 0 this turn. Add a random card into your hand. I don't like that. I thought this was, do you want $1 or $2, but it's actually, do you want garbage or $2? I want $2. So upgrading Wish gives it Retain, which is pretty nice. Our highest priority upgrade right now is still probably Calculated Gamble or Neutralize. Now that we can tutor Neutralize with Wish, and tutor means to basically pick a card and draw it. Is it finally time to upgrade one of my starter cards? When I have all of these good cards? Is this real? Thing about Knife Trap, upgrade and play every Shiv. Most of our Shiv's damage is coming from our strength, like our Sword of Jade and our Rainbow Ring. I don't really feel much point in upgrading it. Fan of Knives just gives us an extra Shiv when we play it. This increases Serpent Form's damage by 20%. This just makes it innate, which might be nice, having a guaranteed... Wait, this... With the, What's it called? Where are you? With the innate infinite blades, this makes it almost guaranteed we can get a proc of Rainbow Ring on our first turn. And with Bag of Prep, energy on the first turn guaranteed is pretty nice to have. Right, Bag of Marbles is unfortunately not going to give us some vulnerable because this guy starts with 3 artifact. Also means our tracking is going to be pretty inefficient. Or rather unusable, probably. Give me a backflip. I need to play an attack. This combat could go on for a while to where an up my sleeve might be better in the long term. I think so. And we don't take any damage. So there's tracking. We're going to need to calculate gamble, get this shame out of here. And we can also get another proc on Rainbow Ring. I don't need to put up any blocks because he's just going to add burns to my hand, which I'm not too concerned about. Dagger throw. What 1 cost card do I want? Could burn one of his artifact with a follow through. And then whenever I draw Sucker Punch, I don't need to fulfill a condition to be able to play it. If we can get some weak on him, we saw earlier how fast tracking can just melt an enemy. Now, part of the downside of having 4 burns in my hand, other than the obvious, is it makes our card draw very limited. So I think what we're going to do is probably Shiv, Sucker, and wish for a calculated gamble. And we'll go ahead and play 1 backflip, 1 finesse, gamble. Oh, that's my fault. That is 100% my fault. We're going to lose 6 HP from that. Awful. Shameful. Shameful display. At least we'll get it removed soon. $40 damage. Sucks. Okay. How about we take no damage and do some of our own? $10 damage, or sorry, 10 times 9 is 90. 99. 110. I don't have the lethal. We could use the vulnerable potion. But I don't think we have to, so we may as well not. I don't know why some of them dealt 11 damage. What caused that? Alright, well I guess some of them... Oh, some of them were upgraded! Okay. Well, that ended up working out. Oh my god. Tingsha? So, whenever you discard a card during your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy for each card discarded. Our calculated gambles are now gigantic nukes. I mean, obviously we're gonna take it. And a Shadow Step? Calculated gamble on steroids? Also really like Escape Plan. It's like Finesse, but for the silent. If it weren't right next to Shadow Step, which now that we have Tingsha, we're heavily inspired to, or incentivized rather, to have cards like Calculated Gamble. And this could set up for an insane turn with the tracking and weak. Courier, okay. Now only hitting one shop with how much gold we have isn't really such a big deal. We also definitely want to upgrade it. Have that be 0 energy. One of them high priority upgrades. Regret? I don't like it. We have dagger throw. It's a good start. I care more about my strength than my dexterity. This guy is going to steal our strength, and this guy is going to steal our dexterity. But we get him back whenever we kill them. How about a power, a skill, an attack, rock the rainbow ring, and an attack. Give me my strength back. An attack, an attack. A gamble. Precise cut. Are you dead? No, not quite. Also, I'm taking 5 damage. Oops. I would normally always, or almost always, take a blade dance. But upgraded escape plan just works well with everything we've got going on. We have the meal ticket, heal a bit. So, let's check the cards first. Strangle could be good. Flechettes could be good. Especially because this scales off strength, so it's not deal 5 damage times how many skills you have in one attack. It's deal 5 damage individually for each skill you have. So with all the strength we have, like with Sword of Jade, this is by base 8 damage for each skill we have. So it's pretty good. This here, Abacus. Oh, I thought this was a different relic, but whenever we shuffle our draw pile, gain 6 block. We have a big deck, but we're also shuffling our draw pile a lot. Outbreak is straight up unusable. I don't really like this card. Well, Outbreak, it's a good card if you have a poison deck. Mirage and Outbreak are cards we cannot use. We might be able to use Flechettes. Strangle could be useful. Seeker Strike kind of fulfills the purpose or the same function as Wish, but not as good. I think let's start with our card removal. We really need to get rid of Regret. I don't regret that at all. Then, let's first take some relics we want, and if we can afford Flechettes after, then maybe. So, I like Captain's Wheel. With Ring of the Snake, and how many of our cards aren't upgraded, Bellows, huge. And I like Regal Pillow, because we might have to rest. Actually, very unlikely have to rest. But Red Mask, regardless, is going to clear another artifact at turn 1. This guy doesn't have artifact, I think, but... well, Red Mask is just good. I'm gonna put it that way. And The flex potion could be really good. Vulnerable potion is our only source of vulnerable. Question is, do we want a potion that's going to basically heal us for 12, draw potion, or fire potion? I don't think we need fire potion. So the question is, are we scared of dying, which we have the lizard's tail, or do we want to be able to draw 3 cards? I want to draw 3 cards. Hopefully there's no hallway combat. I can't remember if I'm required to take what it gives me, but it looks like I'm not. Upgrade Cloak and Dagger might be interesting. Deflect might be interesting. I think upgrade Cloak and Dagger can help us set up our knife trap a bit better. We have a ton of cards in our deck, but if we're adding good cards, then it's fine, right? Removing Dagger Spray Plus, that is fine. It has served its purpose. We could heal for 8 HP, which, not going to lie, might be the right play. On the other hand, we can have a calculated gamble or a wish have retain. This boss's third phase, it might be different sometimes, but for every time I fought him, his third phase is he goes intangible every other turn. So being able to hold onto a calculated gamble or a wish to make sure that on a turn where he doesn't have an intangible, we can pull like a knife trap. I think we want to upgrade a wish. I'll hold it. Whenever you play skill, he gains 2 strength. That's going to go away whenever we deal 100 damage to him. Honestly, maybe I'll regret it, but this first phase... What is it? I wouldn't say a waste of time, that's just rude. Honestly, kind of surprised we didn't kill him with that vulnerable, but oh well. Seeing the tracking early, we can play our skill. I think we go Fan of Knives, because now we've played skill, power, and we'll play an attack. But Fan of Knives lets us get this out of our deck. I don't really want to be drawing it later. Serpent Form. Thankfully it's our captain's wheel turn. And we can still do things after we play it. We also have the tracking, so maybe we... It's a lot of damage, but we didn't kill him. Okay. Is it a Cloak and Dagger? A weak. Okay. I was a bit worried we didn't have the damage for that. We had exact damage. So probably should have done the math, but he's gonna start intangible now. He's gonna start by doing 33 damage. I think I want to block, survivor, wish for Shadow Step, and next turn our attacks do double damage. We might be able to end the fight next turn. Especially with the Centennial puzzle planned, of course. I think we have it. I think we... I was going to say we can just wish for our knife trap, but we cannot. I guess we could backflip. Yeah, no, this is fine. Escape plan. Well, first flex. Vulnerable. Finesse. Shiv. Wish for knife trap. Strike. We have it. Beautiful. We probably had like... How much was it doing? 50 damage? 50 times 16? Like 800 damage? Not counting Serpent Form. I don't think he was gonna live that one. I don't even know if Architect can live that one. Where did you come from? What are you after? And where did you go? All in all, I think the run went pretty well. I mean, we had kind of some insane luck there at the beginning. We took the scroll boxes, instantly got offered, what was it, 3 cards that were just pretty good. Then we got offered a good card, a good card, a good card, a good card. Honestly, we had some good luck on that run. We also got good relics, early Sword in the Stone that we got to activate by the end of Act 2. And super synergistic with the deck we were going for. And this didn't really matter, but Shadow Step ended up giving us some insane overdamage. If we had been against someone like Doormaker or Queen, who has big HP pool, that could have mattered. Well, if you're wanting the seed, there it is. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe. Otherwise, you have a beautiful day. Thank you.